Beloved Saints, today's 5-minute message of redemptive history is about Cave of Adullam from the third book of Redemptive History series, The Unquenchable Lamp of the Covenant. After his brush with death at Gath, David barely escaped to the Cave of Adullam, the fifth place of refuge. Adullam was the city given to the tribe of Judah after the conquest of Canaan. First, when David fled to the Cave of Adullam, many people gathered around him. David's brothers and his father's entire household went down to the Cave of Adullam when they heard that he was there. In 1 Samuel 22 verse 1 it says, David left Gath and escaped to the Cave of Adullam. When his brothers and his father's household heard about it, they went down to him there. The reason is that it was a common practice at the time to kill the whole family because of one person. So David's family had come to be with David in the cave to seek refuge from King Saul. It wasn't just his family that came to be with David. At this time, about 400 men, all those who were suffering trials in debt and embittered, gathered around him. This included people suffering under the reign of King Saul, who was unfaithful, foolish, and insane. In 1 Samuel 22 verse 2, it says, all those who were in distress or in debt or discontented gathered around him, and he became their commander. About 400 men were with him. The people gathered were the ones who faced all sorts of hardships, so it must have been a great pressure for young David to lead them. He must have also faced many difficulties. However, the young David gained understanding, patience, humility, and broad-mindedness as he ruled over these people, and began to acquire the qualities he needed to become the king of Israel. Everyone, there are times that different situations and circumstances ask that we be understanding and patient. However, let us firmly believe that those situations are there so that we can possess qualities and essential parts that are necessary to be used for the will of God. So let us overcome all of our troubles and be used by God. Second, while David was in the Cave of Adullam, he confessed only God is his refuge. Despite having his family and 400 people with him, David must have felt loneliness and adversity when thinking of his circumstances. The heading for Psalm 142 states, Maskil of David when he was in the cave, a prayer. Here, David describes his painful hardships and experiences as my complaint, my trouble, my spirit was overwhelmed within me, and I am brought very low. However, even in the midst of this tearful situation, David was full of hope and made a confession of faith. In Psalms 142 verse 5, he says, I cried out to you, O Lord. I said, you are my refuge, my portion in the land of the living. Thus, God led him to Adullam, which means refuge and hiding place. Beloved saints, even if we are in a very painful circumstances or situations, let us draw near to our God, who is our hiding place and refuge. When we cry out to him, then believe that he will light the fire of hope within us. So today, let us have God as our refuge and hiding place and our hope. Let us never leave him and rely on him and be blessed. I bless in the name of the Lord.